Hello students, today in EIC lecture, we'll be studying DC bridges, and for that particular topic, I'll be referring electronic instrumentation by H.S. Kalsi. At the end of the today's session, we'll be able to classify bridges and explain the application of Wheatstone bridge in resistance measurement. Bridge circuit. Basically, bridge circuit operates on the principle of comparison. It consists of a network of four resistances. As we can see, we have a four resistance here: R1, R2, R3, and R4. All these four resistances are connected end to end, thus forming four junctions A, C, B, and D. A and B are opposite to each other. C and D junctions are opposite to each other. Across these two opposite junctions, A and B, I am connecting a source, DC source, and across the other two resistors, that is C and D, I am connecting a current meter or a galvanometer. This is a basic bridge circuit. Next is classification of bridge circuits. Bridge circuits are broadly classified as DC bridges and AC bridges. In DC bridge, we have Wheatstone bridge, Kelvin bridge, and mega ohm bridge. All these three bridges are used for the measurement of resistance. In AC bridge, we have inductance bridge, that is Maxwell bridge and Hay bridge. Then we have a capacitance measuring bridge, that is our shearing bridge. And for frequency, we are having Wien bridge. Now let us see the derivation of Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge is basically used for the measurement of resistance, and this measurement is done at a balanced condition. A bridge is said to be a balanced when the potential across C and D will be same, or I can say that there exists no potential difference across your galvanometer. So when this condition occurs, I1 into R1 will become equal to I2 into R2. One more thing happens at balanced condition. Since there is no voltage across C and D, there will be no current flowing to the galvanometer. Hence, this will act like an open circuit. Hence, I1 will be equal to I2 because nothing is flowing to this. So whatever is coming from R1 will full thing pass through R3. Same way, whatever is flowing through R2 will flow through R4. So my I2 will be equal to I4. Okay. So you can see here I1 is equal to I3, and this becomes equal to E divided by R1 plus R3. This we get by using the voltage divider rule. Okay. Next, I2 becomes equal to I4, which becomes equal to E divided by R2 plus R4. Now we can see here in this equation, I am substituting for I1 E divided by R1 plus R3, and for R2 I will be substituting E divided by R2 plus R4. Then we get this equation. Then after that we cancel out the common term, that is E. What remains is R1 divided by R1 plus R3, and here it will be R2 divided by R2 plus R4. Then we do cross multiplication, we get this term. Then we open up the brackets, it results in R1 into R2, this term, plus R1 into R4, this equals R1 into R2 plus R3 into R2. After that, we cancel out what is common. R1 into R2 will get cancelled out, and what remains is R4 equal to R1 into R3 divided by R1. This is the equation for the bridge when it is in the balanced condition. So from this equation, we can say that Wheatstone bridge can be used to find the unknown resistance. If I say R4 is the unknown resistance, I can calculate it using R2, R3 and R1. Applications of Wheatstone bridge is in telephone companies for locating cable faults. It is also used for measuring motor windings transformer solenoids and relay coil resistances.